bit on this side. A bit on that side. A bit. Okay. All wants us. Mr. McGrain. Mr. McGrain. Anthony. Forward on this side. Okay. Mr. McGrain. I just checked the weather. Carry on until we see lightning. Where am I? There it is. Smell it. Good afternoon and welcome to the 66th Annual Commencement Exercises at Wantagh High School. Please rise and join GO co-presidents Christopher Murali and Melanie Voles in our salute to the flag, followed by our national anthem led by student conductors Sydney Gallo and Elise Page.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. At this time, it is my honor and privilege to introduce the distinguished members of our administration and honored guests. I ask that you hold your applause until I introduce all those present on our dais. The Superintendent of Wantagh Public Schools, Mr. John McNamara. The Assistant Superintendent for Instruction, Dr. Mark Ferris. The Assistant Superintendent for Business, Mr. Anthony Cedrone. The President of the Wantagh Board of Education, Mr. Adam Fisher. The Vice President of the Wantagh Board of Education, Mrs. Kira McLaughlin. Trustee of the Wantagh Board of Education, Mr. Anthony Greco. Trustee of the Wantagh Board of Education, Mrs. Laura Reish. Trustee, the Wantagh Board of Education, Mrs. Tara Cassidy. Trustee of the Board of Education, Mr. Anthony Greco. The Principal of Wantagh High School, Mr. Paul Gazzone. Assistant Principal, Wantagh High School, Mr. Nick Pappas. Nassau County Legislator and 1987 Wantagh High School graduate, Mr. Stephen Rhodes. The Wantagh Scholarship Fund President, Mr. Gerald McCrink. And last, but certainly not least, the Wantagh High School Band, directed by Mr. Dan Avilias and Mr. Christopher Cochran. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the principal of Wantagh High School, Dr. Paul Gazzone.
Good evening. Where do I even begin? I guess first by welcoming our Board of Education, administration, faculty and staff, families, and lastly, our graduate candidates. I would also like to acknowledge some special people that spent countless hours to help make this celebration happen. Thank you to the 612 for supporting our seniors this year and for most recently purchasing fantastic graduation signs on our front lawn, as well as for providing the 800 waters for today's ceremony. Thank you to Numerous Flowers, who in keeping with tradition, donated all the beautiful flowers you see here today. Thank you to Luca Di Matteo, who donated the awesome black and gold balloon arch that we all walked through this evening. Thank you to Eric Gardner, Brett Meyer, and Tom Fucci, as they led our custodial and grounds crew for putting essentially everything you see here today together. Thank you to my assistant, Sue Ryan, as she was just invaluable to me as we planned for our ceremony. Just on a side note, in many ways, she will also be graduating this evening as she is all set to sail into retirement. Thank you to Deanna Pepe, our senior class advisor. Ms. Pepe has worked tirelessly this year to give our seniors everything and anything she could. In a year where targets were constantly moving, this was not an easy task. Thank you to our graduation coordinator, Chris Nyberg, who spearheaded this entire operation and as you already know, had to deal with many, many changes along the way. Finally, thank you to our families for your patience as we work to figure it all out. And when I say it, I'm referring to this entire year. Now let me say, I enjoy reading, and one of the first things I did when I knew I was coming to Wantagh was to buy a book for first-year principals. In that book, there was a chapter on pandemic planning. Naturally, I flipped to that chapter, and I read through it in about 2 seconds. That's because all it said was, good luck. I mean, we had a year for the ages, but you know what? We are here, we figured it out, and we got through it because this is what this town does as we are Wantagh. To change gears, it has truly been my honor and privilege to work with this amazing group of students and soon to be graduates. To think that they began this year in cohorts with limited music, no theater, no sports, no clubs, and with no real end in sight. For them to carry themselves the way they did was and is absolutely commendable. What I saw on display from our seniors was patience, understanding, flexibility, compassion, dedication, ingenuity, positivity, and advocacy. Lots of advocacy. As a class, they have set a new standard that all future classes will be compared to. And for that, I am thankful. To address my seniors directly, you will have no arguments here if you walk away from this year thinking that this year was not the experience that you envisioned for your final days as part of the Warrior family. However, you need to know there is another truth, a better truth, a positive truth, a longer lasting truth. You, the class of 2021, are more prepared to take on the world than any other graduating class of recent memory. Overcoming tribulations is not new to you. You were born not too long after the tragedy that rocked our community and our country on September 11th. Without even knowing it, you entered a world that would be forever different from the one that the rest of us knew prior to that devastating day. In 2012, our region was battered by Hurricane Sandy, causing schools to close for extended periods of time, families to relocate, some of which are still finding their way, and creating ripple effects that remain to be seen. The digital age. For all the positives that come with the ever-changing world of technology and the internet, there have been just as many challenges. You, the class of 2021, have had the patience of saints as we all try to figure out how to best educate you using these new tools. Often that meant a change in device, a change in applications used, or a shift in philosophy from year to year. You also have to learn to navigate the dangers of the internet and the constant reality of what you post on the web will remain on the web, not to mention a host of other issues that many before you never had to think of. There are many other things that I can mention, but for the sake of time, I will skip forward to our current scenario. COVID-19, the pandemic that none of us saw coming, an event that will go down in the history books as a period that again changed the world as we knew it, and in the middle of it all, you, the class of 2021. There is no doubt that you are battle-tested. You have become innovative, creative, and adaptable, not out of desire, but out of necessity, and you have done so beautifully. Often as educators and parents, we talk about how can we instill a sense of grit and resilience within our students, as these are the traits that can best guarantee success in the years to come. To that matter, this is something that we did not have to work hard to do. The world has taken on that initiative for us. You may not know it, and in fact, some of us may not even realize it, but each of you are in position to make change, to be successful, to turn dreams into achievements because of what you have experienced during your lifetime. I can confidently say that all of us at Wantagh High School are proud to have worked with each of you. While it might seem right now that life is unfair given the trials you have faced and may face in the future, just know all of you are ready to take on what lies ahead, and potentially even more so than anyone else that has come before you. Thank you, and as always, don't forget that today is a great day to be a warrior, as we are Wantagh.
Please welcome the Superintendent of Wantagh School District, Mr. John McNamara.
Good evening. It's my honor and pleasure to address our Wantagh High School graduating class of 2021 tonight. 31 years ago, almost to the day, I sat at my own high school graduation ceremony. I quite honestly don't recall many of the details or anything specific or notable in any of the speeches that I heard that day. I generally remember feeling a lack of connectedness to it. However, what I failed to recognize at 17 years old was the importance of ceremony. I failed to recognize the importance of taking time to acknowledge and celebrate achievement and milestone. This ceremony for me today is so significantly different. Yes, we're celebrating the remarkable achievements of our Wantagh High School graduates. Yes, we're recognizing your hard work, your academic success, and the milestone of achieving your high school diplomas. But today means so much more than that. Today is truly about being reconnected with the world. As we come out of a time period of hardship and loss, a loss this senior class knows so well, this ceremony today is important. Quite frankly, it's probably more important than any other graduation ceremony that has been held on this field. As much as this ceremony is about celebrating these remarkable students and the end of their academic careers here in Wantagh, it's also about a restart and a reconnecting of our community. What I failed to realize 31 years ago is that all of this, of us being together and being here to celebrate, that is the point. That we should not look past this moment. We do not take enough opportunity to revel in all of our accomplishments. We do not take enough opportunity to celebrate with the ones we love, particularly at a time when we have not been afforded those opportunities. To say we lost a lot over the past year is an understatement. This senior class was shortchanged. You didn't have the experiences that class after class after class had, and some even took for granted. Class of 2021, you've lost that, and there's nothing we can say or do to bring that back for you. It's important that we acknowledge that loss and work through and accept the disruption and disappointment that it came with. However, let us acknowledge some of the unanticipated gains that this difficult year may have come with as well. There are gains that we may not have expected when the pandemic began. Gains that the resilient class of 2021 made. You learned about interdependence and interconnectivity, advocacy, risk-taking, and developed a greater appreciation for things that truly matter. This year, our seniors learned just how much we are all interconnected. We learned not just how the actions of one person right here in our community can impact others, but how that is even true on such a global scale. We learned about advocacy. This year's senior class advocated for themselves time and time again. They spoke, they wrote, they acted to express what was important for them during a pandemic and how they felt about it. And they did so with passion and respect. We learned about appreciation this past year. The smaller things that we may have took for granted pre-pandemic. The simple things that many of us have begun to enjoy as we move ahead. And we learned about risk-taking this year. I think we all have been reminded that there is inherent risk in everything we do. And we have to learn how to manage that risk and make calculated decisions that are within our comfort zones and just beyond. I'd like to share some words today from Ellison Onzuka, who was an American hero. He was the first Asian American astronaut for NASA. Sadly, he tragically lost his life in 1986 when the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded just 72 seconds after takeoff. I remember watching that launch as a middle school student and the tremendous impact that it had upon me to see that tragedy unfold before my eyes. I came upon a quote from Ellison recently, and it was from a speech that he'd given at his commencement for his alma mater. He graduated from a high school in Hawaii. I'd just like to share a few lines from that. Ellison said, "If I can impress upon you only one idea, let it be that the people who make this world run, whose lives can be termed successful, whose names will go down in the history books, are not the cynics, the quarterbacks. They are the adventurous, the explorers, the doers of this world. When they see a wrong or problem, they do something about it. When they see a vacant place in our knowledge, they work to fill that void. Rather than leaning back and criticizing how things are, they work to make things the way they should be. They're the aggressive, the self-starters, the innovative, and the imaginative of this world. Your vision is not limited by what your eye can see, but by what your mind can imagine. Many things that you take for granted were considered unrealistic dreams by previous generations. If you accept these past accomplishments as commonplace, then think of the new horizons that you can explore. Make your life count, and the world will be a better place because you tried." So I ask all of you to be strong. Make your lives count. Don't be the cynic. Don't be the armchair quarterback. This is your time. This is your moment. Seize the opportunities that lie ahead and take the skills that you have and the lessons that you've learned as a student here in Wantagh and over the past 15 months during this challenging time in our history. In our interconnected world, our interdependent community, continue to be the advocates for what you believe is right and appreciate all the things that are so easy to take for granted, while being risk takers that push our world's thinking. So go out, be the adventurous, and make our district and community proud. I have no doubt that you will do just that. Congratulations, class of 2021. Best of luck to you and Godspeed. Thank you.
And now please welcome the president of the Wantagh Board of Education, Mr. Adam Fisher.
Good evening. On behalf of the Wantagh Board of Education, it is my honor to welcome the graduates, families, friends, and faculty to the Wantagh High School 2021 commencement ceremony. Let me begin by saying congratulations to the graduating class of 2021. That we are here today together is a testament to how far you've come. You've demonstrated growth as scholars, athletes, musicians, artists, and performers. You did this in our science labs, classrooms, athletic fields, on the stage, and in hundreds of impressive and astounding ways. Our Wantagh community is so proud of the numerous accolades and achievements you collected throughout your 13 years in our school district. I have no doubt you will reach even greater heights as each of you move on to the next great challenge in your lives. The last 15 months presented you with challenges unlike anything any of us have ever experienced in our lifetimes. You've dealt with uncertainty, continental shifts in almost everything you knew to be certain, and for some, the loss of loved ones and friends. And I'm reminded of a sentence from Ernest Hemingway's A Farewell to Arms. The world breaks everyone, and afterward, many are strong at the broken places. I suppose there are different perspectives on exactly what his words mean. In the context of the book, they mean one thing, Some may also view these words in a negative light. Over the past few months, as I prepared to speak to you today, I found myself giving a lot of thought to these words and what the future holds for you. And as I thought more about it, I found these words comforting. In them, I see optimism, I see hope, I see courage, I see strength. Each of you, in your own unique way, has been forever impacted by all of your experiences and the events of your lives. They shape who you are and often change you in ways you don't even realize for many years. Here at Wantagh High School, you've experienced what no senior class has ever had to experience before. For your entire senior year and part of your junior year, your entire academic experience shifted without notice or preparation. Every aspect of your day-to-day lives, both in school and outside of school, were impacted. I know how this has affected you. Despite what the world has thrown at you, despite all of the challenges you have faced, you are here today in front of your families and loved ones graduating high school. You are stronger than ever before, and you are ready to take on any challenge that this world can throw your way. I've seen you work smarter and harder. I've seen you approach the world with hope for the future. I have seen you achieve academic excellence, create incredible works of art, and win championships. You are a fantastic group of students with incredibly bright futures ahead of you. If there is one thing you can count on, is that the world will continue to throw you curveballs, continue to test you. But the one thing I can count on is your strength, and that you are capable of hitting every one of these curveballs out of the park. Whatever comes your way, I am confident you will be able to handle it, embrace it, and use it to achieve greatness. In closing, take your strength, your resolve, your brilliance, and show the world what the best of Wantagh has to offer. Let your lights shine bright and make a great difference in our world. Congratulations to the graduates of the class of 2020.
Our next speakers are the co-presidents of the class of 2021. Christopher Murali is a true leader and a co-president of the class of 2021, the co-president of GO, the president of the Wantagh Theater Club, and the treasurer of the English Honor Society. Christopher plans to attend the University of Tampa in the fall. Dominic Rossi is also the co-president of the class of 2021. He is an accomplished artist and has earned that distinction in the National Art Honor Society. He plans to attend SUNY FIT in the fall. Please welcome these two terrific student leaders, Christopher Murali and Dominic Rossi.
Thank you. I'm Christopher Murali, class of 2021 co-president, and it is my honor and pleasure to speak to you all today. Wow, this day's really here. I dreaded working on this speech because I never wanted this day to come. This day has always seemed so distant, but it's now arrived sooner than we all have imagined. I remember the first day of high school like it was yesterday. I walked the halls searching for my classes with my schedule on my lock screen, terrified of the intimidating older kids that surrounded us. We all looked forward to being those intimidating seniors to a group of freshmen one day too. Now, we stand here today with that task completed. My fellow Wantagh graduates, in a blink of an eye, we went from starting our first day of elementary school to our last day of high school. Now we stand here together today. Graduation welcomes a new beginning, but also helps us recognize all of our success of the past years in which we have grown. With this chapter closing, we all feel like uncertainty about starting our next. Because unlike an English book, we cannot briefly skip through the pages of life to see our next chapters. We must take each day and conquer it head on, not knowing what curveballs will be thrown our way. To quote Nora Roberts, "If you don't go after what you want, you'll never have it. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. If you don't step forward, you will always be in the same place." We must always remember that we are true warriors because this last year and a half, we've adapted to a new normal. This new way of life was not an easy adjustment. We had to deal with the cancellation of school, sports, arts, clubs, and our favorite events. We had to interact with teachers and fellow students through a computer screen. We were isolated. We were sad, but we persevered. We got through it together. As we stand here today, all of us, the class of 2021, we know we deserve this moment, and we should feel proud of our accomplishments. Although this day will soon become a distant memory, the valuable moments the class of 2021 have had are memories that we will never forget. From our first experience of walking into Wantagh Middle School, not realizing then we walked in together as the class of 2021, to the most recent and very favored senior prank of sneaking into the school basement with a speaker and strobe lights. Sorry, Pappas. We did that together, no one different than the other, but as a whole. In the end, it's not just high school. It's friendships, hardships, sports, proms, homecomings, floats, spirit nights, sports nights, pep rallies, school plays, football games, and much more. Without even realizing it, these last few weeks were those last meetups in the hallways during your least favorite classes, along with your last walks to class you shared with your best friends, or your last favorite interactions with your teachers. Take this moment now to look around you. Most of these faces are those you've seen 5 days a week since kindergarten. From elementary school Quidditch to end-of-the-year parties to playing wall ball at recess and competing during field day, these are the people who shaped your childhood. On the first day of elementary school, we all said to ourselves, how am I going to make new friends? Now we're here today with our biggest conflict. How are we going to leave our best friends? Wantagh Schools has brought us friends that we will keep forever. I used to say, what am I going to do with you, to my friends, but now I say, what am I going to do with you when I realize that I have to leave you? But as Winnie the Pooh says, how lucky am I to have saying something that makes saying goodbye so hard? So go forward, be proud, and always remember your time at Wantagh and the friends you have made. I'll end my speech the way I started it, in the blink of an eye. We will all be together again at our 10-year reunion as the class of 2021. Always remember, once a warrior, always a warrior. Thank you.
So unlike my college English presentation, let's hope this isn't a train wreck. So let's get started. Scattered around the walls of Wantagh High School, these inspirational quotes everyone thinks they read, but nobody actually reads them. Mr. Hunter's room, he actually covered one of them up with artwork. And I don't think anyone here could actually recite one of them. If you can, keep it to yourself, don't ruin my moment. But there is one quote that stuck out with me when I was walking the halls freshman year, and it was a quote by Abraham Lincoln that said, "Whatever you are, be a good one." And I'm struggling here. And all that did was raise more questions than it answered. And a big question that popped in my head when I read that quote was, well, what am I? And I don't think a lot of us could answer that question right away. What are we? But I do think there is one answer that we all could unanimously say together, and it's that we're just kids. And all the stress and all the anxiety and all the hard work we put in the last 4 years, at the end of all of it, we're just kids. And if I could say one thing I regret about my high school career, is I always thought about the next step. I always thought about my future. I always asked myself, what now? But instead I should have taken a step back and said, I'm just a kid. I have my whole life ahead of me. Everything will fall into place. Because we're not here forever. And if you don't cherish it now, it's going to go by too quick. And this really hit me in the face when I got a text from my mother a few weeks ago. And she said, guess what I found? And I said, what did you find? And she sent me a picture of a paper towel roll painted blue and covered in tape. And I said, that's awesome, but what is it? And then she sent a picture of the other side, and it said, Dominic's kindergarten time capsule, do not open until 2021. So now we're in 2021, and I decided to open it. And I wanted to share some with you guys, maybe you can reminisce on old times. And it's dated January 2009, and it says, hello. I hope this letter finds you in the year 2021, and you're getting ready to graduate from high school. I hope you've enjoyed the last 12 years. You have probably heard the poem, All I Ever Really Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. I hope that you smile when you hear it, and remember fondly of all the things we did in kindergarten. And it lists some things, centers, the Halloween parade, the 100-day celebration, we made edible dirt for Earth Day, and we had the end of the year party. Of course, we read many stories and learned our letters and numbers. We practiced counting, sight words, and we learned how to read. We also sang a lot of silly songs and did some silly dances. Remember the Tootie Tot? I don't remember the Tootie Tot. I wish I did. I'd be doing it for you guys right now. We learned a lot of new things. We had fun doing it. I hope that when you open this time capsule, you smile and remember all the fun you had 12 years ago in kindergarten. Good luck. Enjoy the next 12 years. Love, Mrs. Snyder, who was my kindergarten teacher back then. And I think reading this letter, an initial reaction, especially from the parents, is like, wow, 12 years ago, I first walked the doors into a classroom, and we had no idea that people that were around us, 12 years later, would be sitting next to you in caps and gowns, ready to venture off on our ways into the world and different lives. There also was an All About Me page that I wrote when I was 5, so you can go through that. It says, my name is Dominic Rossi, I'm 5 years old. My school's name is Wantagh Elementary, my teacher is Mrs. Snyder. My friends are Cole Dexter and the rest of my class. My favorite thing to do is play with my friends. What I like best about school is learning. I like to eat pizza. I don't like to eat broccoli. When I grew up, I like to be a teacher. Some things have changed since then. I don't mind broccoli now. I gave it a shot. But what I wanted to do for you guys now is when I opened this, I realized how important it is to encapsulate the times we have together. So I wanted to write you guys a time capsule that I think we could open 10 years from now in our reunion. So I wrote you guys a letter, and this is supposed to be read 10 years from now. So it says, Dear the class of 2021, if I didn't lose this letter, I'll hopefully be reading this at our reunion. Hopefully most of you are able to be here. This letter was originally read at our graduation ceremony after a pretty rough year. We were in the middle of a pandemic. Things were taken away from us, and let's be real, a lot of us didn't get along at times. But I like to think of it more as just sibling fighting. As much as we argued and pointed fingers at each other, we were still important to each other. We still wanted the best for each other. As much as siblings don't like to show it to their brothers and sisters, I cared about you guys. I was hoping guys would pass your tests, and I was hoping guys would make it to playoffs. And 10 years later, at this reunion, I'm hoping you all became the successful beings we all wanted to be. So, how is life 10 years later? How many people have you told that your English teacher was one-hit wonder, 9 Days lead singer John Hampson? Kat Cope, how is your new role on Broadway? Or Justin Traylon, how's the limo business doing down in Florida? Whatever it is you guys are doing, I want to hear about it. All of it. And you may be wondering what I've been doing for the last 10 years. Well, I've been to 17 countries. Leonardo DiCaprio's been begging to hang out with me. And I learned how to do a backflip. And the biggest factor in helping me achieve this has been the lessons and strength I learned from this challenging year. If we can survive COVID, storming of the Capitol, having to listen to 2 new Taylor Swift albums, and dealing with the pressure of being the most attractive class ever, we can survive anything. So here I am in the year 2021, telling all of you guys 10 years in advance, congratulations, and I'm quite proud of you. Best regards, Dominic Rossi, 2021 co-president of the senior class, hashtag high school forever. And we're gonna seal this in a little envelope. Thank you. We're still going. It's gonna be sealed in a little envelope, and the front says, do not open till 2031, which sounds far away, but trust me, it'll creep up faster than you think. So there is one little message I can leave with you guys for now that could hopefully stick with you the next 10 years. Is that all of this, the last 4 years of high school and all the stress and anxiety, this wasn't your one and only shot. Your bad grades didn't ruin your future, and your good grades didn't guarantee you any form of success. Stick to what you know and be the best at it. And most importantly, stay forever young. Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you, Christopher and Dominic, for your remarks today and for all the contributions you've given to your class and to our school. And now, representing the Wantagh Dollars for Scholars Fund, its president, Mr. Gerald McCrink.
My friend?
I will do 6 on each side.
Thanks. Members of the board, honored guests, graduates, family and friends of the graduates. It's my honor to be here today to present scholarships on behalf of Wantagh Dollars for Scholars. Dollars for Scholars is part of an organization called Scholarship America, which is the nation's largest nonprofit, private sector scholarship and educational support organization. The funding for these awards come principally from an annual fund drive supported most generously by our local businesses, professionals, and residents in the Wantagh community. So today I'm going to be giving out 12 scholarships. Let me get started. The A&F Consulting Services Ivorone Brothers of Wantagh and Wantagh Inn Scholarship is awarded to Gina Calise. The Gennaro Avento Fran Barton Jeffrey Lebret Memorial Scholarship is awarded to Jillian Balkadis. The Bauer Mamisha Perigene Family Scholarship is awarded to Shannon Sullivan. The James and Eileen Castro Lillian Eastland Bruce P. Stevens Memorial Scholarship is awarded to Angelica Meager. The Bendetti Cuomo Norquist Family Scholarship is awarded to Lauren Daniels. The Lieutenant John Garvey and Joan Garvey Memorial Scholarship is awarded to Melanie Volz. The Michael F. Kelly and Andrea Macario Memorial Scholarship is awarded to Grace Kane. The Mamisha Family Scholarship is awarded to Sierra Crowley. The Charles Swibert Memorial Scholarship is awarded to Caden Ireland. The Sandra Simpson Insurance Agency Long Island Architecture Studio Scholarship is awarded to Margaret Gates. The Gregory Westkoff Memorial Scholarship is given to Robert Spiteri. The Wantagh High School class of 1957 scholarship is awarded to Amanda Chirmella. So on behalf of Wantagh Dollars for Scholars, I want to congratulate all the graduates and best wishes to the class of 2021. Good work, guys.
Come in the middle.
We in the Wantagh faculty and administration appreciate the efforts and generosity of Mr. McCrink and the donors of the Wantagh Scholarship Fund. And on behalf of the students who benefit directly from these efforts, we thank you. And now, to introduce the salutatorian of the class of 2021 at Wantagh High School, please welcome the assistant principal at Wantagh High School, Mr. Nick Pappas.
It is a great honor to introduce our next speaker. Hayden Matra is a valued member of our school community. Hayden has many gifts and talents. He is modest, yet confident, friendly and curious. But when I took the liberty of reaching out to Hayden's teachers and peers to describe what kind of a person Hayden is, the two words that came out most frequently were humble and kind. Throughout his academic career here at Wantagh High School, Hayden enrolled in the most rigorous courses, including 10 AP courses, and earned the prestigious AP Capstone Diploma. His weighted GPA was 106.164. Hayden took pride in his studies, was always dedicated to his schoolwork, helped others that struggled, expressed the importance of being prepared with any task at hand, and surpassed any obstacle that was in his way. Hayden is a true Wantagh warrior. Not limited to academics, Hayden is a dedicated student athlete competing in cross country, winter track, and spring track. Outside of school, Hayden enjoys skateboarding and playing football and hockey with his friends. Hayden understands the importance of community service as he has been an avid member of the Boy Scout Troop 656 at high school, and this year his service culminated in earning Eagle Scout honors, the highest rank this scout can earn. Hayden will be attending Binghamton University in the fall and plans on majoring in mechanical engineering. Please join me as we introduce your class of 2021 salutatorian, Hayden Matra.
Thank you for that generous introduction, Mr. Pappas. Good afternoon, everyone. Before I begin my speech, I would first like to take a moment to thank my mom, my grandparents, and the rest of my family for always being by my side and in guiding me throughout the course of my life to where I stand today. I would also like to take a moment to give appreciation to those here at the school who have made this event possible. The events of the past year and a half have been hard on everyone, and it is no shock that we are unable to have a picture-perfect senior year due to COVID restrictions. But with the help of our teachers, faculty members, and many other members of the Wantagh School District Board and staff, we have experienced the closest thing possible to a normal school year. For this, I thank you, and I think I speak for everyone when I say this year will be one that we will never forget. That being said, let's get on with the speech. When I first started writing this speech, I must admit I was a little stumped. Unlike most of you who sit here before me today, I did not grow up in Wantagh. My journey began when I moved here 4 years ago as a freshman at Wantagh High School. But despite my short time here, I feel as if I have been here forever. The experiences over the past 4 years, whether good or bad, has truly marked a significant time period in my life. Looking back, there were many events that I can think of that summarize the experience we all shared as students of Wantagh. Bathroom revolutions and basement parties highlighted some of the great moments we saw here at our school. There always seemed to be something happening after school too. Sorry about that. There always seemed to be something happening here after school too, with many of our sports teams excelling and concerts and clubs fueling our school's culture. But for every good moment, there seemed to be some surprise to keep us on our toes. From the paper shortage we had during our freshman year, to the Wantagh plague pandemic we had our sophomore year, and then the actual pandemic we had to deal with our junior and senior year, life was always interesting here at Wantagh High School. But as interesting as each year here at Wantagh was, no year was quite like this one. As the world seemed to shut down in the face of COVID-19, online school, math, and separation was the new norm for us. Yet, despite these barriers, our school was as together as it always had been. Keeping high spirits, our final year in the school became one that we'd never forget, as we all found ways to cope with the new life under COVID. From playing sports with Mac to having concerts outside, we all discovered new ways to keep Wantagh culture alive. And it was this perseverance through adversity that connected the dots within my head as to why Wantagh is so special. Going back to what I said at the beginning of my speech, my 4 years in Wantagh have been extremely impactful and meaningful to me as I found my place within the community. I always felt that there was something special about Wantagh, but I could never place my finger on it. That was until I sat down to write this speech. In my reflection on my time here, I was looking for a common theme to talk about. This is where I struggled. Most of my time here was filled with uncertainty and unpredictable events. It is in this reflection that I realized that as a citizen of Wantagh, the only certainty is that we will all overcome uncertainty. Throughout all the chaos, good and bad, over the past 4 years, we were bent and twisted, but we never broke. We all pushed through, finding those good moments to hold on to make our way through any obstacle. That is why, as you all sit here before me, with the future looming ahead of us, as unpredictable as it may be, I have no doubt that each and every one of you will succeed. You have all shown that you have the heart and willpower of a warrior, something that will never leave you for the rest of your lives. Congratulations to you all, the class of 2021, and I wish you all the best of luck in your future, wherever it may take you. Thank you.
Hayden.
And now, to introduce the class of 2021 Wantagh High School valedictorian, please welcome Wantagh School's Assistant Superintendent for Instruction, Dr. Mark Ferris.
What a beautiful evening for a celebration and graduation. Congratulations to all of you in the class of 2021. It is my great honor to be speaking today about your 2020 Wantagh High School valedictorian, Melanie Volz. Melanie is an amazing human being. I could speak for a lengthy amount of time about all of her honors and accolades that she has earned during her time in Wantagh. The highest GPA in her class, awards for achievement in math research, excellence in computer graphics and design, an AP Scholar with distinction, a prestigious AP Capstone Scholar, member of the National Honor Society, the Honor Society, Art Honor Society, English Honor Society, Science Honor Society, Triumph Music and World Language, really all of the honor societies. She has numerous awards and accolades as a volunteer and member of the Girl Scouts. This student has achieved just about everything you could possibly imagine while being here in Wantagh. I should also mention that she's attending one of the most prestigious Ivy League schools in the country, Harvard University. The list of her accomplishments, yeah, it's pretty amazing. The list of her accomplishments goes on and on and on and on. A little nauseating, really. But your valedictorian is much more than her awards, her GPA, or her accomplishments. When I spoke to Melanie, I found her to be a delightful young woman, purely interested in learning, joyful, in fact, about learning about the world, and making an indelible difference for the people around her. In speaking to her, she didn't want to talk about her awards or her accolades. She wanted to talk about her dreams and her aspirations. When you ask her what's important to her, what makes a difference for her in being the person she is today, there are two factors: her friends and her family. Melanie's family lost her father James when she was a little girl, and this was hard on her and her mother Ning Ning. But they bonded together, and with the support of their uncle Richard, they reshaped their family and helped her to be the person she is today. Melanie is so grateful to her mother Ning Ning and her uncle Richard for all of their support in helping her become the person she is today. So who is that person? Who are you, Melanie? Well, she's a girl who loves to pick flowers and leaves, press them and make them into bouquets. She's a person who loves to read and learn. We share a common love of science fiction. She has a curious mind, always wants to explore. She loves to travel, explore the world, and see new things and study how people live beyond the borders of the Wantagh community. In her own words, she wants to see the world as it is. What a beautiful way to think about things. A big part of her world now are all the friends here in Wantagh who have been with her through and through. Those friends, and you know who you are, have supported her and helped her through the good times and the challenging times, and she appreciates all of you so very much. As she heads to Harvard this fall, she will miss Wantagh, but she is excited to be part of a tradition of excellence at Harvard University. She wants to be, this is really detailed, a financial economist who examines how we can invest in each other to solve problems with a mathematical approach. Think about it for a moment. Most people, when you ask them, what do you want to do, and they say, I want to be a financial economist, you think they want to make money. She wants to examine how we can invest in each other to solve problems with a mathematical approach. Sounds extremely challenging, but something our world needs, don't you think? I know Melanie as a student government co-president, giving speeches each month on the state of our schools and sharing the voices of you, the students. One time we were at a board meeting, and I remember there were a few parents yelling at us. Well, that's pretty much every board meeting. But in this particular board meeting, Melanie spoke up during a particularly tense moment. She talked about her perspective of a student. She empathized with the people who were angry and asked everyone to step back and look at it from a different perspective. I was so proud of you, Melanie, for doing that. I don't even remember if you know you did it, you just naturally do it. That is who Melanie is, someone who sees the world for what it is and has the courage to use her voice. And it is for this reason that I am most proud to announce and introduce to you our valedictorian, Melanie Volz. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Ferris, for that wonderful introduction. Good afternoon, Superintendent John McNamara, members of the Board of Education, administrators, faculty, family, friends, guests, and graduating seniors of the class of 2021. Before I begin, I wanted to take a moment to thank everyone here today. As valedictorian, I do not see myself as being the singular valedictorian. I would be a fool if I didn't appreciate and thank everyone who has had an impact on my life, no matter how minor or major that impact may be. For the past year, when I walked the halls, I didn't just see you all as my classmates and friends, but rather I saw many valedictorians, each in their own right. Valedictorians of sports, valedictorians of service, valedictorians of kindness, and much more. Today is a day in which we celebrate all that we have accomplished in our lives. It's a day to tell your parents the sincerest of thank yous while savoring every moment of glory that comes your way. Though I was surrounded by many valedictorians, this valedictorian had a speech to write. No 100-page instruction manual comes with writing a valedictorian speech. A lot of thinking took place when writing the speech. Do I want to start with a famous inspirational quote by some famous person? Do I want to start with a generic introduction? Class of 2021 and others. If you had told me a year and a half ago today that the class of 2021 would be surviving a global pandemic and quarantine, I would have never believed you. Do I know what I want to say? The answer to all of these questions is no. These questions are minor when compared to the infinite expanse of unknowns we deal with in our daily lives. If the past year has taught us anything, our lives are filled with asterisks. These asterisks detail disclaimers and exceptions to our lives. They are like stars. A cluster of them aligned in a perfect fashion make constellations. From these constellations, we try to make sense of what life means. As stargazers, we reach for the impossible and dream for the best outcomes the universe has to offer. I think I've decided what my speech will be about. It is a rough draft of thoughts, of aspirations for 2020 graduates. Though I couldn't possibly compile all of our memories together growing up in one speech, I can certainly try to remind us all of our journey from little kindergartners to grown seniors. For the past 4 years, we have undergone a remarkable amount of development and growth. We've been through laughter and tears, ease and pain. Memories run rampant through our beings. The countless conversations and bonds we form within the school community will resonate with us for years to come. We'll miss sneaking into the lunchroom during classes to get a muffin or a Ning special from the cafeteria. Let's not forget about our goldenrod paper crisis or the technological virus from years past. I know I'm missing quite a few of our greatest hits in high school, but our memories together is what brought us here. It's what unites us during trying times and reminds us all of what we have endured and achieved. Though reminiscing through memories is fun, we have to look forward to the future. I suppose it would be reasonable to say to strive for success, but what does success mean? For me, it's to live a regretless life. It's to live a life that you are proud and passionate about. I can voice some of the aspirations we have: to make it rich one day, to start our own businesses, to save the world from an unforeseeable doom in the future. Life is unpredictable, but full faith and confidence are needed if we want to make our dreams into a reality. Our story together does not end after today. I refuse it to be the case. As graduates of Wantagh High School, you will carry a piece of our town with you wherever life guides you. Whether it be the waves from Jones Beach or the small town nostalgia from Wantagh, this community is a defining component of your character. Sitting before me is a group of ambitious graduates waiting to conquer the world and to relish in all the treats that life has to offer. Now, how do I want to end this speech? Stereotypical or unconventional? Look at us. We've made it. We've gone through ups and downs, highs and lows, and we're here today in front of our friends and family becoming graduates. I wouldn't want to be graduating with any other class. Thank you.
At this time, I ask the distinguished members of our administration and education to take their places near our diplomas and medallions, and I ask High School Assistant Principal Mr. Nick Pappas to approach the podium.
Will the first row of graduates please stand? Grace Ann Ackerman. Drew S. Alemo. Samantha Allen. Benjamin A. Ambrosio. Adriana C. Amoruso. Kyle James Anderson. Aiden Renee Arouse. Victoria Offiero. Abby Nicole Avina. Kelly Ann Basley. Jillian Grace Balkunis. Terrence R. Benchback. Christian Barbario. Gianna Maria Barbario. Anthony John Battaglia. Liam Joseph Bedell. Eric A. Benedetto. Jack Michael Benedetto. Olivia Rose Benedetto. Sarah Ryan Benkovic. Scott Russell Bindell. Harrison Barrod. McKenna Ann Booton. Riley Susan Marie Brady. Eleanor Green. Rachel Deborah Bright. Mia Catherine Bronzino. Riley O. Brower. Daniel Patrick Brown. Charlotte R. Brunges. John Michael Bruno. Alyssa Burke. Grace Burke. Tyler R. Brzezinski. Adriana Cayazo. Christian J. Calabro. Gina Alexandra Calise. Michael S. Camerano. Kaylin Kelsey Campbell. Caleb Joseph Campo. Robert J. Canestro. Amber Carbone. Hannah Noel Carey. Alexander John Carpenter. Joseph Christopher Carey. Nicholas G. Carey. Christian William Carson Rodriguez. Sabrina Rose Caruso. Diana Nicole Castellano. Thomas James Sarasi. Chloe Cheeseman. Isabella Sofia Chiacho. Amanda Charamella. Jack Thomas Cerrone. James W. Cerrone. Maya Marie Cochiola. Abyerini P. Cochicas. Nicole Catherine Colombi. Danielle Colucci. Sean Thomas Canigliaro. Nicole Elizabeth Conway. Julia Capola. Olivia Lee Corwin. Madison Lynn Crandell. Ashley Brianna Crispin. Sierra Autumn Crowley. Kelly H. Curtis. Jason R. Cusack. Lauren Michelle Daniels. Stephen Edward Daniels. Joseph A. Davino. Gianna DeVolt. Emma Grace Degnan. Emily Ann DeRupo. Cole Thomas Dexter. Matthew Charles DeGraziano. Joseph Angelo DiMatteo. Kyle Dowden. Jack S. Dolberg. Alyssa Linnea Zvorznak. Gregory Michael Aletto. Julia Patricia Anella. Alyssa Marie Ewald. Michael A. Fahey. Bianca Marie Falco. Matthew S. Fernandez. John Anthony Ferraro. Samantha Finnerty. Joseph Carmine Fontana. Joseph Dominic Freund. Noah Elias Gabe. Sydney Gallo. Margaret Ann Gates. Cole Martin Gavin. Anna June Gebrocht. Lauren Michelle Goldberg. Emma Catherine Gonsowski. Ron G. Graham. Carolyn Rose Greaves. Kevin M. Griffin. Kelsey Maeve Hagan. Catherine E. Hanauer. Dylan John Heege. Austin James Hengline. Thomas John Hurley. Helen Albert Ibrahim. Juliana R. Inella. Shay Jolie Singa. Jake William Interante. Caden James Ireland. Sophia Rose Jennings. Daniel Robert Johnstone. Sean Patrick Joyce. Christian M. Kane. Grace Marina Kane. Sky Dakota Queso. Elizabeth Grace Katz. Ryan Joseph Carney. Adam Thomas Kissinger. Katriana Rose Cope. Cole J. Kornbluth. Anna M. Kranis. Jake Michael Latsko. Ryan Michael Kira Ann Locasano. Alexander Lucas Loveman. James P. Lucy. Maria Katerina Lupo. Nicole Taylor. Megan Nicole Magner. Hayden John Mitchell. Samantha Madison Marcata. Michael H. Marciana. Brendan William Martin. Taylor E. Mazariegos. Kevin P. McBride. Riley B. McCann. Matthew F. McCartan. Allison Carly McGinn. Angelica Lucy Mahar. Emma Susan Darrow. Lauren Burton. Michael T. Miners. Christina Minerva. Jonathan Mingozi. Michael Montanilli. Michael Carvey Mastransky. Lena Sophia Musa. Catherine C. Moulaine. Christopher Murali. Danielle Marie Murphy. Bella Nagara. Fionn Thomas Nolan. Thomas J. O'Connor. Rebecca Renee Oriana. Elise Diana Page. Lara Palazzolo. Thomas Anthony Partridge. Frankie N. Peretti. Evie Petraka. Gabriella Nicole Petnato. Brian G. Picarillo. William Anthony Pinheiro. Nicolette Marie Piscopo. Mackenzie Rose Post. Olivia Potts. Christy Wilson Puckhaber. Michael Joseph Rathgaber. Dylan Michael Reish. Robert George Rice V. Thomas James Rice. Carly Mia Rizzi. Andrea Victoria Rodriguez. Dominic H. Rossi. Allison Brianna Russo. Mark Max Russo. Alexa V. Salerno. Cassidy Samaru. Daniel Robert Sanchez. Mark Schwartz. Anthony Lee. Marie Silver. Erin Elizabeth Scar. Colin Skelton. Shannon Kate Smith. Robert Connor Spiteri. Kenneth Francis Spratt. Jordan Hope Stein. Shane Hunter Stein. Matthew F. Stroud. Shannon Josephine Sullivan. Caitlin Marie Taggart. Jillian Ruth Tarry. Jack H. Tartaglione. Jack Martin Erie. Aiden T. Jonathan F. Torres. Justin N. Treeland. David Treader. Annie Elizabeth Troy. Michael Tsakos. Nilifer Senna Turan. Matiana K. Valdez. Emily Ann Van Olinda. Michael J. Varone. Julia Rose Vega. Jaden Vancouver. James Lang Berenice. Melanie Margaret Voles. Caitlin Rose Walsh. Robert Kieran Walsh. Matthew Joseph Waston. Alexander D. Williamson. Liam Joseph Winges. Kira Joan Young. Matthew J. Zanellotti.
Okay. To now signify yourselves as high school graduates, you may move your tassels from the right to the left. Before we officially present and recognize the class of 2021, I'd like to thank the Wantagh Fire Department for being here. They are here. I saw them on the way in. They're at everything we do. We so appreciate them being here always and protecting us. Thank you, Wantagh Fire Department. And so before we conclude the program, I'd like to thank someone who put this all together. You know, this day, to quote Chris Murali, class president, wow, this day is actually here. And what Mr. McNamara said, like, this day is important. A year ago, as we entered, all of us, all of you and all of us here, we all entered this year together in an atmosphere of uncertainty. This was something we... But while I was hoping for it, the guy in the office next to me, Mr. Nyberg, was planning for it. And planning for every eventuality. A virtual, something in between, and in our wildest dreams, us all being here. And so I'd like to thank Mr. Nyberg not only for tonight, but for the last 11 years of coordinating the Wantagh High School graduation. Please join me saying thank you to Mr. Nyberg. And now, for the presentation and recognition of the Wantagh High School class of 2021, please welcome the Superintendent of Schools, Mr. John McNamara, and the Board of Education President, Mr. Adam Fisher.
Thank you. It's my pleasure as Superintendent of Schools to certify to the members of the Board of Education and all present these young men and women have successfully completed all requirements for graduation. Mr. Fisher, I'm pleased to present to you the class of 2021 of Wantagh High School.
Thank you, Mr. McNamara. President of the Board of Education, and by the powers vested in me by the State of New York, I accept your presentation and hereby recognize the class of 2021 of Wantagh High School.